Hey, hi everyone. Hope you are all well. Uh, Looking forward to our class discussion on Thursday. Going to see you all. Definitely is going to be a highlight in my week. Uh, but for now, let's get looking at what we'll be looking at today. So today we're going to be the first part of a two-day because we'll be looking at decolonization and the Cold War. Today we'll be looking at it through an Asian lens. But first, a couple of housekeeping things. Be aware that you'll be able to redo mini units 12 and 13 on Schoology today from 8 to noon. Like I said, mentioned earlier, we'll be having our class discussion on Thursday, so here are the times for that. Our academic integrity and expectations, same as it has been. And you'll complete the ed puzzle. I'm pretty certain my view is different than yours, so I'm not going to click on that. But what I will do is bring up the questions you'll be looking at. Like last time, this is question number, and then this number refers to a rough time that you'll be asked to answer the question. All right, so again, decolonization and the Cold War through Asian lens. Question one. This video argues that the Korean and Vietnam Wars had their roots in the era of colonialism. What events in particular does this article trace these conflicts back to? So again, we've already talked about both of these wars in the Cold War. Now we're going to be looking at through decolonization. So that is key. So looking at this question's root in the era of colonialism, that's going to be the key part for the question. Question two, in both Korea and Vietnam, there were well-known leaders of the communist and anti-communist sides. What were their names of these four leaders? Despite their differences, what did they have in common? So it'd be like Vietnam communist leader, his or her name. Vietnam anti-communist leader, his name. Korean leader, Korean communist leader, his name. Korean anti-communist leader, his name. But you are looking for something that all four of them have something in common. And that is going to be key. All right. Three, in what ways was the Civil War in Vietnam a decolonization struggle and also a Cold War conflict? So those are two trends going on there in Vietnam that we have to go over. The Cold War concept should be pretty straightforward at this point. So, spend your attention focusing on the decolonization of Vietnam. Question four, at about the 8:10 mark, how was Korean decolonization and its encounter with the Cold War conflict different from Vietnam? How is it similar? And we've talked about that before. How does Steve Lee explain the outbreak of war in Korea? And then lastly, or six rather, how did the Vietnam War end? And question seven, to wrap up the video, describes the two conflicts. Both were linked to the Cold War. Both had roots in anti-colonial struggles, and both were wars of national unification. But only Vietnam was able to unite its nation. Korea remains divided between the North and the South since the war ended. The United States has normal relations with Vietnam, even working closely as a trade partner, but the United States remains officially at war with North Korea. Why do you think the United States has normal relations with one but not the other? So all that prior was just setting up. This part is the question. Why does the United States have normal relations with one of these countries and not the other? As always, if you have any questions, please email me. I hope you enjoyed the looking at these two historical events through a different lens today. Take care and hope all is well.